Okay, hey guys, welcome to our 30-minute HIIT workout with us at Element. We're going to start off with our warm-up. So starting off with some high knees. It's 3 minutes, guys, so just walking on the spot. We're going to get those knees up nice and high. Warming up through the joints. Standing up nice and tall. Keep going, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to take it from there into half jack, so foot out to the side, stretching up overhead. We're going to go for 20 seconds. That's it. Just warming up through the whole body. Nice stretch up, bringing that foot out to the side. Again, if you want to make it a bit more dynamic, you can take it into a jumping jack. And we are 4, 3, 2, 1. Straight from there, guys, we're going to go into a walkout. So standing up nice and tall, bringing our feet down to the mat, our hands down to the mat, walking ourselves out into a high plank, and then walking ourselves back up to standing. And walking out and back up to standing. As we walk and doing this, I'll talk you through our session. There will be 8 exercises, 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest in between each one. We'll take a break after the 8 are done for 30 seconds, and then we'll go back in, continuing on to do the 8 exercises again for 2 more sets. So 3 rounds, 8 exercises. And last one. And back up to standing. Alrighty, bringing yourself back up to standing. We're going to take ourselves into air squats. So sitting down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. From there, we're just going to do some arm circles. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Alrighty, guys, from now I'm just going to quickly run through our 8 exercises, and then we're going to get straight into our workout. So our first exercise will be a split squat, taking ourselves out, bringing the back knee down towards the floor, hips squared, shoulders squared, and it's down and back up. We're going to go for 45 seconds in each round, so I'll call it when we're halfway through, switch over to opposite side, or we can alternatively do alternating legs like this, up and back down, using body weight. Then from there, we're going into our incline push-up. So onto a bench, chair, a safe surface to move on, bringing our chest down towards the bench and pushing ourselves back up. 45 seconds on that. Straight from there, after we go down to the floor, we're into our plank position, and we're going plank step outs. So it's taking a step out to the side. Doesn't have to be any further than like a foot in the step. And that's it, okay? Then from there, next one we transition into is our Y and T for the shoulders. So lying down onto the mat, we're going arms out to the side in a T shape, then arms out at 10 and 2 into a Y shape, lifting those arms up, okay? Then from there, flip over onto our back, and we're going into our glute bridge. Feet close to the bum, drive those hips up to the ceiling, and bring the bum back down to the floor, all right? And then next one after that, back over onto the front, into your shoulder taps, 45 seconds. Then from there, we transition into our standing position. We're going for our lateral lunge, taking a step out, 1, back to center, 2, leaning in, sticking the bum back. And then finally, into our last one, we are starting with our plank rotations. So starting off up here, rotate through, back up, and we're going to go for 45 seconds. And when we get halfway through, I'll tell you when to switch over to the opposite side. So bringing up, spreading arm through, and then back up. Okay, right. When we're ready, into position, we're going to start with our first exercise. I'm going to pop the clock on now. We've got 45 seconds, and we'll be starting in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Split squat position, and 1, 2. I'm counting, even though I don't need to, and I'll tell you when we're going to change over to the opposite side. Bringing that knee to the floor, keeping the shoulders stacked. And halfway there, change leg. Back knees to the floor. That's it, nice and controlled in the body. We're working on body weight for this first round. As we transition through the workout, I'll pop bands on where we can use bands, and I'll use weights where we can use weights, so everyone can see all the different ways in which we can modify our workout. And 15 seconds rest. So as I talked you through, the next one we're going to go into is our incline push-up. So getting a nice safe surface, placing your hands onto that surface, make sure it's not going to move or anything like that, into a high plank position, and we're bringing that chest towards the bench and back up. Nice and controlled in the movement. Deep breathing down onto this microphone. Nice and controlled. That's it, keeping the body still. Keep thinking about that straight line from the shoulder, hip to the heel, moving as one. Coming into our last 10 seconds. Push. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. 2 exercises down. Next one we're going into is our plank step out. So we'll bring ourselves down onto our mat, onto the elbows, making sure the shoulders are over the elbows, into our plank position, and then we're just stepping out side to side. That's it. There doesn't have to be a big step. Now just a little bit over side to side. While doing so, we're making sure that our core is tight, our glutes are tight, and we don't have our bums stuck in the air. It's a nice straight line, and we're lifting ourselves out of those shoulders. Halfway there, guys, you're doing great. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, staying on our mat, we are going to go into our glute bridge. So flipping over onto our back, bringing our feet close to our bum, and from here in our glute bridge, we're going to push our lower back into the floor and then drive those hips off the ground. 1, and that's our movement. 2, back to neutral spine, and make sure that we lift those hips, lifting vertebrae by vertebrae off the floor, driving through the floor with the heels and pushing ourselves up nice and high. Bring those hips up high. Keep bringing ourselves up onto the shoulders and control as we come back down. Make sure we've got good control on both sides of the body as we come back down to the mat. And last few seconds. And rest. Okay, again, still staying on the floor. We're going for our Ys and Ts and for our shoulders. With this, we'll be lifting the arms out to the side, keeping the body resting on the floor, and then back down, then lifting them to a 10 and 2 position. So off we go. Out to the side, then 10 and 2, up. Back out to the side, 1. Back to the floor, and lift up. Out to the side, back to the floor, lift up. Out to the side. Guys, you don't need much space, so you can do this in your living room, anywhere, hotel room, wherever you are, if you're out traveling. It's a nice, not much equipment needed. A good little workout. Nearly there. Last 10 seconds of this set. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, perfect. Next one we're going into is our shoulder taps. So again, into your high plank position here, guys. Up onto the feet. The closer feet that are together, wait, we're going in 3, 2, 1, and tap. The closer the feet are together, the harder it is. If you're finding you're moving through your hips, just widen your stance. Stabilizes the hips that little bit more, stops our body rocking the whole way. And then as you get stronger through the core, bringing the feet closer together. That's it, we're halfway there. Doing really well, everybody. Keep breathing, keep that core tight, those glutes tight. Straight back, make sure those hips aren't driving up towards the ceiling. We're nice and steady and solid through the center. Last 5 seconds. And rest. Okay, from here, we're going to bring ourselves up to standing. And we're going to go into our lateral lunge. So your center part is here. You'll step out to the side, lean in, stick the bum back, back up tall, and alternate the opposite side. So when we're ready, and off we go. 1, back up, 2. Guys, even sticking the hands out in front helps to keep the chest up. Sticking the bum back. Getting nice and low. Nearly there. And rest. And final one we're going to go into is our rotations. I'll call them out to you as we go along. We're going to do 20 seconds one side, 20 seconds the opposite. All right, getting ourselves, you can do this off the knees or in full plank. 3, 2, 1, and lift. So from here, leaning over 1, and rotate up. And lean in 2. And threading that hand through 3. And 4. Well done, nice and controlled. We're switching over side, flip it around, opposite side, and when you're ready, lifting, off we go. Again, tucking that arm under, opening back up, rotating under, open up. 3, 2, 1, and rest. And that's it, guys. Take a little breather. Let's catch our breath. And this time around, I'm going to add bands into the equation. So if you have bands at home, so you can do a body weight, and if you have bands, we can use bands. So I'm going to pop the bands on where I can, just to add that little bit more resistance into our training, advance it up a little bit more, okay? So let's pop this back on. We should all be feeling a little bit more rested now. So again, remember, we're going back into our split squat. So I'm going to grab my bands here, pop these on above my knees. Here we go. Get myself into my split squat position. And we'll be back in 10 seconds. So pop my timer on. Everyone's feeling okay? Big deep breath in, take your sip of water. And when we're ready, into your split squat position. And back knee towards the floor, and off we go. Keeping that control in the body. Squeeze that glute as you get to the top. Perfect, doing great. Getting 3 more in, and then we're going to switch over to the opposite side. And change side, and down 1. Squeezing those glutes as you come up. You can do all different kinds of bands. The thicker bands are easier for this. 3, 2, 1, and done. Take your rest. Okay, next one we're going into is our incline push-up. Guys, I'll just show you. If the incline is too easy, we can then take our push-up to the floor. All right? Push-ups to the floor can be done on the knees, or they can be done on the feet. And when we're ready, off we go. So working on a more advanced position today, going into the push-up off the floor. The main thing is to keep moving. Again, if your form is dropping, bring your knees to the floor, doing the push-up off the knees. Past the halfway mark. Doing really well. Keep that core tight. Make sure we're not dropping those hips. Last 10 seconds. Pushing. Last few reps. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, guys, next one we're going into is staying into our high plank position. We're going to take ourselves into our step out. So into your high plank, I'm going to pop the bands around my feet like this, and off we go. Just getting that bit of resistance, making sure that we're bringing the foot back to center each time. So bands around the shoes, not around the ankles, just around the shoes. So they should be placed across the laces. Halfway there, keeping that nice control through the body. Remember to breathe. Doing really well, last 5 seconds. And rest. So popping my bands off. I'm going to pop my bands off, but I'm going to pop them back on above the knees because we're going into our glute bridge. So bands on above the knees. And when we're ready, off we go. Driving those hips up. 1. Keeping those knees hip width apart. 2. These little mini bands are so handy. Pop them in your suitcase. If you're away with work or going traveling, they're just so handy to have. They're tiny as well, so they'll fit in anything, even in the handbag or in your pocket. Doing really well. Pushing through those heels, driving those hips up. Squeezing the glutes to the top. Back down neutral. And lifting back. Get rid of neutral spine. Drive those hips up. Last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. And rest. Popping my bands off. Staying where we are. We're going to go into our Y and T's, okay? Hopefully you can hear me okay here. Okay, out to the side, and we are lifting, and 1. And then into your 10 and 2 with the hands. Out to the side, lift. Down, lift. And lift. Lift. That's it, guys, doing really well. Halfway there. Doing great. Hold up, down, back, lift, and down, and back out to the side. Last few seconds. Out to the T, into a wide position, and rest. Okay, brilliant. Then from there, we're going into our shoulder taps. Hope everyone's feeling okay, all doing good. Enjoy your rest while you can. Just 15 seconds into our high plank position, and when we're ready, we're going for our shoulder taps. Off we go. Nice and controlled, keep that control. If you're struggling, guys, you can drop to the knees. Just keep going, that's the main thing. Keep ourselves moving. As long as our form is good. That's the main thing. Form has to be good. 15 seconds. Doing really well. Keeping the body as still as we can. And rest. Okay. Next one we're going for is up to standing. We're going for our lateral lunge. And doing so, to make this one a little harder, we're going to add a bit of weight, okay? Keeping the chest up nice and tall, and we're stepping out. Off we go. 1. And out to the other side. Nearly there. Last 5 seconds. and rest. Okay, next one we're going into is our plank rotations. Guys, these can be done off the knees in this position, up and rotating under, or into the high plank. All right, 3, 2, 1, and lift. And threading the arm through, 1, and open up. 2. Keeping everything in line, make sure the pelvis is in line. Those glutes are tight, you're driving those hips to the ceiling. We're nearly there. And then we're going to rotate over to the opposite side. And changing side. Switch it over, lift it up, and off we go. And rest. Okay, and that's it, guys. Take a breather. We've got a minute's rest here, well, 45 seconds to get some water on board and reassess ourselves. So our final round, I'm going to add some weights into the movement, so where I can. This is a more advanced movement. Again, unless you're feeling stable and fully in control at body weight, that's when you transition to your bands and then transition to your weights, okay? Alrighty. Little drop of water for everybody. And next one we're going into, again, will be our split squat. So when we're ready, I'm going to grab some weights. I'll pop my timer back on. Okay, grabbing the weights into position. And we're back in 3, 2, 1, off with our split squats. 1. Doing really well. Okay, and changing side. Off we go. Three, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, into our incline push-up. I'm going to go back onto the bench for this one, guys. So again, always remember that you should have a stable piece of furniture or bench that you're leaning on. And when you're ready, off we go. Doing great. Keep breathing. Focusing on our form. Halfway there. We're doing really well. Last few. And rest. Guys, just a quick note, the higher the incline, the easier it is. So if you are struggling, bring your incline up a little bit, off a countertop, from the chair, and that's it. Okay, next one we're going into is our plank step outs. So into your plank position, if you have bands on, pop your bands on, and off we go. Coming up to the halfway mark. Start to build up a sweat. It's good. Hope everyone's doing great. Keep focused your form. Make sure the hips and everything's in line. The core is braced. We've got our last 5 seconds. So last time we're doing step outs for the workout. 2, 1, and rest. Perfect. From there, we are going to go into our glute bridges. And add a little bit of weight into mine, off the floor. And if you want, use the dumbbell onto the body and driving the hips up. 1. Really pushing those hips up towards the ceiling. Push, push, push up towards the shoulders, squeezing those glutes. Make sure we're getting into those hamstrings. Keeping those hips in line. Make sure the knees aren't dipping in. You're finding that they do. Make sure you have your bands with you, pushing it against the bands. Keeping those hips in line with the knees. And rest. Okay. Next movement, guys, we're going on to is our Y and T's with our shoulders. So lying down on the tummy, chest to the floor, arms out to the side, and we're going to lift into T. 1, back down into Y, back down, T and Y. So using the clock as an indicator of where our hands should be. So 10 and 2 for the Y, and we're going for 3 and 9 for the T. Lifting up, make sure we're coming back down each time. Lifting and lift, lift. Nearly there. Again, you can add light weights to this if you want. Start off with something really light. It's a hard enough movement anyway. Okay, perfect. Take your 15 seconds rest. And then from there, guys, we are going to go into our shoulder taps. Have a little breather. Into your high plank position. And when we're ready, we're off in 3, 2, 1, and off we go. 1, 2. Doing really well. We're nearly there. Great way to advance in these, guys, as well, is count your reps within the minutes and try beat them, you know, within the 45 seconds. It's a good little challenge to do for yourself. If you want to make it a little harder, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, I'm going to take myself up to standing and I'm going to go for my lateral lunge. This time around, I'm going to hold my weight differently. I had it up at the chest. This time I'm going to hold it down low. Okay, when we're ready, stepping out and 1. And 2. Getting more into the legs. This is it, guys. Second last exercise. Keep pushing through. Doing really well. Three, 2, 1, and down with weight. And into our final exercise. Going for our plank rotations. 20 seconds each side. Into your position. And when we're ready, we're lifting 3, 2, 1. T, and then rotating under. 1. Open. 2. 3. 4. Sorry, I naturally count. That's what I do, counting the reps. Nearly there. And changing side. Onto the opposite side. And lifting up and away we go. Our last 20 seconds. Nearly there. 2 more reps. That's it. And we are done. Grab yourselves a little drop of water. Well done, guys. That is your HIIT circuit done. We are going to take a little bit of time to do a cool down. It's going to be about 2.5 minutes. We'll get this done in 30 minutes. So it's a 30-minute session. 3-minute warm-up. A little bit of a cool down. So from where we are Deep breath in, exhale. Folding forward, we're going to walk ourselves out into a high plank. Bring the right foot to the right pinky finger. And we're going to just open up across the chest there and holding. Lifting out of that arm. Drop that hand down behind the back if you can. Open up across the chest. 3, 2, 1. Hand back down to the floor. Foot back into high plank. Push yourself into a downward dog. Sorry. From here, we are going to bend the right knee, straighten the left, and push that back heel to the floor. Changing side. And 3, 2, 1. Back to high plank, left foot to left pinky finger. And then from there, when we're feeling stable, we're going to bring that hand up towards the ceiling and then drop that hand behind the back, open up across the chest and lean into that stretch. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From there, drop your back knee to the floor. We're into like a 90-degree angle on the front leg. Curl the back toe under, and we're just going to push those hips forward. Get a nice stretch through the hip flexor. If you want, you can extend the hands above. Even lengthening out and leaning back a little bit for a deeper stretch. 3, 2, 1. Hands to the floor. And knees down. From here, we're just going to go for 5 camel. So round that spine and then drop the tummy down. 2, 3, 4, last one, and 5. Okay, and from where we are, we're bringing the opposite foot over to the opposite side, up into a 90-degree angle on the leg. From there, we're going to push the hips forward, get a nice stretch to those hip flexors. And again, setting the hands up for a deeper stretch and leaning back for an even deeper stretch, so holding. Okay, hands down to the floor. And guys, from there, we're just going to transition ourselves up to standing. I want you to wrap your right arm across the body, looking out over the shoulder. And changing side. Okay, wrap our arms around an imaginary barrel. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Hands behind the back. Push that chest out, hands out. And then from there, we're going to take a low squat down, deep breath in. And exhale at the top. Another low squat down. And exhale. And that is it, you are done. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks a million.